meeting, and I'm going to put this on our Facebook page as well too. So, like I said, they won't be able to see you guys, but they'll be able to see me and hear what we're talking about here. So, going on kind of through this agenda. First of all, anybody have any questions about what Pastor John or Pastor Aaron was sharing? First about dress code. Any questions about the dress code situation that we're talking about? Don't want to talk about butts and boobs and bellies, huh? All right. All right.
I just wanted to add also scarves can help ladies with that trouble of like a lower neckline than they want.
Okay.
I utilize that sometimes too.
So if your wardrobe is beyond the 4-finger rule that she was talking about, 4 fingers, below your collarbone, ladies, then, that's okay. We're not telling you to go out and buy a whole new wardrobe, but hey, a scarf can work, or tank top, that kind of thing. And same thing with the skirts. We're not asking ladies to go out and buy a whole new wardrobe of skirts. If your wardrobes are, they're shorter length than that, that's, hey, you do you, that's fine. But on the platform, wear some leggings underneath. And again, because like she said, especially if you folks a little closer, because of the elevation of our platform, people can see places you might not think they can see. So the leggings will certainly help in that area. Any other questions about, Pastor John talked about cleanliness, looking clean and pressed and that kind of thing. Wednesdays, our dress code is, we call it casual, but not too casual. So, too casual would be, crumpled t-shirt, holes in jeans, oil all over the place, that kind of thing. That might be a little too casual. Ball cap, that kind of thing. That's a little more casual than what we're wanting to go. But we're not looking for coats and ties and jackets and skirts. Just you come as you are. You're welcome to come as you are, but casual, not too casual. Sundays we're going with a color scheme, and so just trying to choose clothes that fall within that color scheme. One of the things you'll notice, I've got another schedule coming up for May and for June I'm going to distribute, and on the color scheme you'll notice every single Sunday 2 of the color choices are black and white. So if you don't happen to have, say for example, turquoise, green turquoise, if you don't happen to have orange coral or something like that, that's okay. Black and white will always work. And so, again, we're not asking you to go out and buy a whole new wardrobe. You might want to buy 1 or 2 things if you like to, if you want to. If you don't, hopefully everyone has something in their closet that will fit with this clothing schedule too.
I have a question about Wednesdays.
Yes.
So like jeans, but nice jeans, they have to be black?
Oh no, they don't have to be black. Absolutely. I'll wear blue jeans regularly. I happened to wear black jeans last night, but yeah.
If I wear like a t-shirt, like a plain colored t-shirt, that's all right?
Yeah.
A lot of times I would try to go with like a polo or just throw a button up on, but
That's nice too, but
I like t-shirts.
as long as it's clean and not holes and doesn't have some kind of overt message on it, so yeah.
I was years ago when he was short.
Mm-hmm.
At the country church, didn't realize where I was. I was wearing a 3-piece suit. Somebody said something about it, and I looked around, and everybody else was wearing jeans and shorts.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to fit in.
Yeah.
But you're not too dressed up or not too underdressed.
Yeah. I try to look.
It's better to overdress.
I try to observe the dress of Pastor John and Pastor Aaron when I'm trying to get a feel for what the unspoken dress code is in the church. And so one of the things I've noticed in observing that is that on Wednesdays, Pastor John is usually wearing jeans, usually wearing a collared shirt of some kind. Rarely is he wearing a tie. He's never wearing like a jacket or anything like that. And again, similarly with Pastor Aaron, she's usually dressed, she's usually wearing jeans and she's wearing a blouse of some sort. On Sundays, Pastor John is usually wearing a tie. I can't remember if he did this last Sunday or not. I was thinking maybe he didn't, but
He had that burgundy.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So Sundays seem to be typically a little more dressy. Although, if you have nice, clean jeans, and they go with the the dress colors that we're going with, hey, you know, I don't see that as being out of bounds. No one's told me that. So don't want to spend too much more time on that, but I will answer any questions. Yeah.
I did recall when Mr. Wayne said something about shorts. That was the thing too, that we're not to wear shorts on the stage on Wednesday nights.
Oh, yeah.
That's all you know I have.
Yeah, shorts is too casual. Shorts is too casual. Unless,
My husband, when he was up there, he forgot one time and he wore shorts.
yeah, yeah.
Happens to me.
Sure. Yeah, we really want to try to avoid that. Now there may be a Wednesday when Pastor John says, go ahead, come dressed to work or something like that, so. All right. Next thing I want to talk about is the song schedule. For the last couple of weeks, we've been trying something new, and I kind of wanted to get your feedback from that. What we've been doing is the songs that we've done on Wednesday, we've then repeated those same songs on Sunday morning. And so I think everyone here has been a part of that experience. What are your thoughts on that? Do you like that? Do you wish we were doing new songs on Sunday and not redoing what we did Wednesday? What are your thoughts?
I don't think it's a big deal, but it does help as far as practice goes.
It helps to repeat or to do new stuff?
It helps to repeat because
Okay, to repeat
Sunday
stuff.
morning you're already on it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's a big deal.
Yep.
I think it's helpful to do because since we don't have a practice, we get and then also with singers, because then on Wednesday we kind of gather what we're doing, what we did.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I like about it,
Uh-huh.
doing the same set on Sunday as we do on Wednesday, is it introduces it to the congregation, when like a new song, so that maybe more of the congregation is more familiar with it on Sunday.
Yeah, so your Wednesday night crowd is helping you Sunday morning. Yeah. They become part of the praise team, because they heard it first too. Yeah. Any other thoughts or comments about that?
Well, it helps us because we have time in between to think about the things that we need to work on too, and brush up on it before Sunday morning.
Yeah. Something I'll mention too is that all of our services are live streamed on Facebook. And so, including our Wednesday night service. So what you can do is, in that repeating type schedule where you do Sunday what you did Wednesday, is you can go back and watch Wednesday's live stream, and you can kind of watch yourself on that. Now, we've been working really hard over the last several weeks. We had that big technical rehearsal several weeks ago, and we've really been able to improve the quality of the audio for the live stream. So it's still not perfect. It's one of those things that'll never be perfect. So, but it's gotten much more excellent. And our sound guys like Calvin and Sam, and I don't think I've been able to show David yet, but they know now how to access and even mix the live stream during the service. So if there's an opportunity to do that, they're able to do that. So I've been watching. I watch it every service, and I've been just seeing it get better and better and better. While you may hear your own individual part, or you may not, but you'll hear a blend, and you can also watch yourself on camera and see what your body language looks like. I want to encourage that, looking at the live stream for things. I think we're going to go ahead and continue with that repeating schedule, at least for the next 2 months, for May and June. We're going to give that more of a try. We've done, I think, two weeks now. We're going to give it 2 months. Pastor John likes it. Pastor Aaron likes it. I really like it. You know what? I find Sundays, because we did it Wednesday, because we watched it throughout the rest of the week, and now we come Sunday, I found the Sunday morning rehearsal time to be a lot more relaxed, and much less rushed, and a good chunk of time between the end of our rehearsal and the start of service to do the things you need to do, get a drink of water, get a breakfast snack, you use the restroom, that sort of thing. So I think we're going to continue with that. Are you all good with that?
Okay.
All right. Okay, good deal. Another benefit of doing that is it does reduce the number of songs that we're doing each month. And I say benefit, but what I mean by that is this. With less new songs that we're doing, that means there's less new songs that we're needing to learn. And so it is reducing the need to have an additional weekly rehearsal for learning that new music. Now last night we picked up 2 new songs out of the 3. We really spent a good bit of time on Fire, if you remember. And we did 2 songs without tracks. It's not my desire, I like being able to do worship without tracks. I think that's an important place for us to be at, where we can do worship without tracks and it still sounds good. And you know what I noticed? When we did those, we've been doing track for like the last 4 weeks. When we did those 2 songs without tracks, I noticed musically, our timing was good. Our timing was a lot more steady. And so that's key. Our energy was up and our sound was nice and full. When you listen to it on the live stream, you'll hear it sounds nice and full. So I'm not seeing, and I told you when I came, when we had our first meeting, 6 weeks ago or whatever, I told you I don't want to have rehearsals just for the sake of having rehearsals. I'm not into that. And so what I'm seeing is I don't think we're going to need to have additional outside rehearsals, except on a rare occasion. Is everyone okay with that? Okay, good deal. So we're going to do that with our song schedule. Next thing I want to talk about is team schedule, and I'll ask you to take one of these and pass it around. Mary has obviously done a very, very excellent job and very diligent about scheduling our team singers and helping us to know what our colors are going to be. And of course, she's doing that in coordination with me, and it's just working out really, really well. And I hope that you as singers are finding that there's been a real balance to the number of times people are scheduled to be on microphone or in choir. Before I even get any more into that, there is one thing I want to say to our singers, and that is this. Every singer is incredibly valuable to our team, and I'm including our choir because I see the choir as another mic singer. It's that important. And so every singer is on a mic every Sunday. When I got here, well, some of the, I don't know about the department, but I can tell you this, the choir mics are working, they're picking up, and they're really adding to the quality of our sound. They're coming over the live stream as well. So when you're singing in the choir, if you're wondering, I wonder if anybody even hears what I'm doing, the answer is a resounding yes. Absolutely, and it's making a big difference. You're making a big commitment there. We really, really appreciate you doing that. So there's never a Sunday when any single singer is not on a mic. It's more a matter of, are you out on the front line or are you on the risers? That's the difference. And we only have a certain number of space on the front line, a certain number of mics, so we're limited by that. When we get a new church building, we're going to have a much wider platform, and we can have 8 or 9 singers like they do at Belltown. But that's not where we are right now. So Mary has put out a schedule here for May and for June, so that we know for the next 2 months what we can have there. But and she sent this to me back at the beginning of the week, and I've been looking at it, reviewing it, and it looks great. It's going to work, absolutely, and this is the way we've been doing it. However, I started considering, the song schedule that we've started, where we're repeating on Sunday what we did on Wednesday, and I got thinking about, from a musician standpoint, instrumentalists and singers, maybe it might be an idea to consider doing the same thing with our teams. So in other words, that what you learn on Wednesday, you're going to repeat on Sunday. I'll give you an example with our drums. We've got 2 awesome drummers with Zach and with Logan. And the way we've been rotating those guys is that Zach has been playing on Wednesdays and Logan's been playing on Sundays. The challenge with that has been actually, it wasn't a challenge when we were doing new music each Sunday. Both guys had to learn new stuff when they went to play. But these last couple of weeks when we've been doing the repeating schedule, we would learn it with Zach, and then Logan would have to learn it the following Sunday. And so I've talked to both of these guys, And they're up for this, and that is basically they're going to do alternating weeks now. So where Zach played with us last night, he's going to play with us this coming Sunday as well, because he's learned the drum parts for those songs, and that takes the pressure off Logan for having to also learn those songs for Sunday morning. And then next week, Logan is going to play on Wednesday and the following Sunday, and so they're going to alternate weeks like that. And then, of course, if there's ever a time when, say, Logan's not able to be here for a service, then he knows he can call Zach, and Zach can cover, or vice versa. So every Sunday when Zach can't be here, or when Zach can be here, he can call Logan. And so we've got support. So we've got a schedule that provides consistency for scheduling what you can expect, and then we've got support for if there's a service when you're scheduled, but something's come up and you can't cover it. And so I got to thinking about our vocal team. And so I started looking at our vocal team, and from what I could see, it looked like we have 8 female singers. And of those 8 female singers, we have 4 sopranos and 4 altos, generally speaking. 4 sopranos and 4 altos. And I got to thinking, well, what if we created 2 vocal teams? Like a red team and a blue team, something along those lines there, where each vocal team has 2 sopranos and 2 altos on that team. So a soprano or an alto are never singing alone. They've always got a support of someone standing right next to them singing the same part. And if there's a particular service where you're not able to cover, well, there's 2 other, like say you're an alto and you can't make it that service, there's 2 other altos you can call and say, hey, would you be free to cover this particular service? Well, what that also does is that really evens out as far as, who is singing on microphones and who is on front line versus choir and that type of thing. And that really fattens up our choir. So the second paper here is an idea. It's taking a look at another approach to this. And so you see, I created 2 teams, a red team and a blue team. And on some of the roles, like on bass and on guitar, well, you'll see the same guys on both teams, and that's because we don't have a second person to rotate in and out there. And both of those guys have willingly said, yeah, every time the doors are open, I'll be here if I can. So that's good. But that, kind of sets up 2 sopranos, 2 altos, a tenor, drums, bass, guitar. Of course, I'm going to be here every service playing music too. So you have red team and a blue team. And notice everyone's phone number is next to their name. That's so that, again, if you're scheduled, let's say you're on the red team, you're scheduled and you can't make it, well, now you can look to the 2 other people in your part and there's their phone number. You can call them directly and say, hey, would you be able to cover? It looks like I'm not going to be able to make it that particular service. And that also gives you then a consistency in knowing what the schedule is, whether you're going to be on a frontline mic or whether you're going to be on a choir mic that week. Something you can plan around, the rest of your life. So give me some feedback. What do you think about that idea?
ENC drummers think alike, man. I like the idea of splitting teams like that.
Mm-hmm.
If I have any input, I'd say maybe after a couple months, maybe think about reconfiguring the team some.
Sure.
You could kind of switch out and we would say, because like you have Rebecca and Autumn on one, and then Mary and June on the other.
Uh-huh.
And maybe put Rebecca and Mary and then June and Autumn or something. Switch it up somehow, that way it's just fun.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and I'll talk about this coming up Sunday. I'll talk about that in a minute, but I just mean in general, and yeah, that's a great idea, and I didn't mention that, but yeah, I was kind of thinking along those same lines too.
One thing I found like with Sundays and stuff, because June wants to stand, us altos stand together and everything, so we hear each other
Yeah.
better and stuff. So like I was thinking about this Sunday, Bert and I are both going to be here, us standing by each other.
Yes.
So we could hear
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
So much better, so I know when we stand by Martin, I love Martin to death. I have a tendency to go toward his part.
Mhm.
You know, and so we're gonna stand by Bird.
Yeah.
It'll be easier for me to hear her, and we'll sing the same part.
Mhm.
And that stuff, so
Mhm.
to me, it's a lot easier to do that and sing the right part.
Okay.
So, that's just.
Yep.
No, we're on, hold on.
Other thoughts, comments?
How will that affect people who are only Wednesday or Sunday only?
Mhm. Yeah, there's a couple on our team that right now that are not able to be here on Wednesdays. Then, you know, they would contact the other two counterparts on the other team and ask them if they could cover. Or, you know, if we're not able to get it covered, well, that's okay. We can just go with one person for that week. Who else? Other comments or questions about that?
I was gonna second part of like them switching it up, just because, I don't know, like say I'm comfortable singing with Bert or with Mary, and then I never sing with them or something, you know what I mean? So,
Sure.
or if our voices sound better, like if I sound better naturally with Bert, like, just get a mixture, so.
Sure.
I would second that every once in a while.
And there wasn't much rhyme or reason to how I kind of typed it on the paper here. There was a little, like for example, I put the two of you on the same team. So, you know, you're coming to serve on the same weeks and that type of thing. But, you know, it doesn't have to be that way. It certainly could be mixed up, that sort of thing. But I just thought, you know, if you guys are serving on the same team for a month, then maybe there's a weekend that you are wanting to get away. You're going on vacation or something like that. Well, then, you know, you pick the week that it's not your team, and it's, you know, no impact as far as that goes. But who else? Bert, you have anything to say about it?
They've already said what I was thinking.
Okay, I already said what you're thinking.
You want everybody to sing, even if they're not on here, you want them to choir, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'd like everyone to sing every service that you can come and sing. This is
So
just,
red team will have the stage, blue team will take the choir, and then blue team
Yeah.
will have the stage, and red team will take the choir.
exactly.
They said that was it.
And there's another reason why I want to do it that way regarding the choir, which we're going to talk about in a little bit further down the agenda here, but that's going to be coming up here in a second too. But okay, so now let me say this. I'm okay either way. It's all good in the neighborhood with me as far as this goes. So, but this was another idea. And I thought, oh, maybe people might like this. Maybe people really like this better. Now, and Mary has already told me she is fine continuing to do this. It is a big job, but she's told me she's fine continuing to do this. There's going to be a couple of weeks in June where she's going to be off the grid as far as music goes. She's going to be full on VBS, and then I think a vacation and something. So, but
My husband's out of town.
yeah, out of town. So let's do this the fun way. Every head bowed, all eyes closed. Foreheads down on the table, or whatever. And because we'll do this as secrets again. All right. Raise your hand if you like red team, blue team. Are you raised or not? Okay. Raise your hand if you like the other one better. If you like your first way better. Okay. All right. We're gonna go red team, blue team for 2 months. We'll try that. That was the majority of hands, even with the people who said I don't care. So that's fine. So good. Well, wonderful. Well, I want you to know I'm considerate of your feelings. I'm considerate of your opinions. I want to know those things, and I think that's good. So everyone hand this one back in. Just put it back in. We'll get rid of those things for now. And would everyone please give a round of applause to Mary for working so hard putting it together. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Mary. All right. So this schedule for May and June will get posted on our Facebook page as well. So got that. All right. So that's questions on video, song schedule, team schedule, rehearsal schedule. I mentioned this a little bit last night, but again, because of going to this this repeating song schedule and team schedule, I do think it reduces greatly our need for extra rehearsal time. And so I think we can get most of our rehearsals done within a 30-minute period. Some of them may extend to 35 minutes or so. Last night went actually it only went about 35 minutes last night. But the problem was we didn't get started until almost 10 minutes late, till almost 6:10 instead of starting at 6. And so our rehearsal went all the way into 6:45. And Pastor John has really expressed he wants the sanctuary to be free and available for prayer starting at 6:30. And so, that can definitely be accommodated. We can definitely do that, but we've got to start on time. And so I just want to mention again that, to be ready to start our rehearsals on time. So Wednesday nights, that's at 6 o'clock. And on Sunday mornings, that's at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock in the morning. So I am always here at least half an hour before that time. So if you come early, you don't have to worry about whether the doors are going to be open or not. Hi, Jen. Glad you're here. That's okay. We're recording it, so you'll be able to watch and catch up on everything then. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So you don't have to worry about coming here and the doors are going to be locked. They're not going to be locked. They're going to be open. All right? I'll be here. But in order to start on time, that means you need to be thinking, I got to get there 5 minutes before. Because it takes 5 minutes to park your car, walk in, get your mic, get your instrument, turn things on, and be ready to go. Minimum. It just does, right? Yeah. So just be thinking, I know, it's a nervous habit. Am I driving you nuts? All right. So just be here 5 minutes before the start of rehearsal so that we can start our rehearsals on time. Everyone good with that?
I would have said it's knowledgeable the traffic, so
Sometimes it's hard for us to get here. So we do our best.
Yeah, all I'm asking for is the will to do it on time. That's all. I realize that sometimes there will be times, extenuating circumstances, traffic, what have you. I get it. Alarm clock didn't go off. I get it. Okay, it's happened to me a million times too. I'm not talking legalism here. I'm talking effort and the desire and the commitment to make it happen. Okay. Good deal. Hospitality table. We started that, about a month or so ago. Do y'all like having that back there? Does that help you? Knowing that there's something I can snack on. There's gonna be some foods there I can snack on.
It does help on the days that you're running late.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because otherwise you might not have breakfast until after the second service.
Yeah.
So you've been rehearsing before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sunday mornings I like
Yeah.
coffee in there, because I know it's there. Apart from that, I'm not used to it.
Yep.
I usually eat breakfast at 6:30 in the morning, but a lot of times I'm in a big hurry. Here I am eating a breakfast bar and little cheap things
Mm-hmm.
on the way to church. So immediately I can see the necessity for that,
Yep.
even though it doesn't always fit me.
All right. So, Teresa, are you saying you like the healthy choices we've been providing, or are you saying
No.
we're not doing it and you want it?
I like the watermelons.
Yep.
And stuff, because, you know, like I have the surgery on Wednesday,
Mhm.
and that's all that I can have.
Yeah.
It's like stuff like that.
Trying to be intentional, like for breakfast, I'm providing some kind of a sweet pastry that people typically like, some kind of fresh fruit alternative, fruit juices, as well as coffee. So there's a lot of things there. The Wednesday, I'm not trying to provide you your 3-course meal for Wednesday dinner, but there's chips, there's salsa, there's fruit, maybe some cookies, you know, something sweet. There's sodas, there's water. I mean, we'll always have bottled waters. So, and look, I'm dieting right now. I'm on a 5-in-1 diet plan, and so what I eat is pretty restricted. But there's always going to be something for everybody to enjoy. So, and if you're on a diet and you want to cheat, there'll probably be stuff on there you can cheat with too. So, just saying. All right, well, we'll continue that. I will say this, Autumn did a really nice thing. She was being very thoughtful, and she got a jar, and she wrapped it with some kind of cloth or something, and it's like sort of like a tip jar, but it's a jar where you can put money if you want to contribute money for the hospitality table. But let me just say this. The hospitality table is provided to this team from the church. It's Pastor John's desire to want to give back as a thank you to give back to our team for the volunteer hours and efforts that you're putting in. So you don't have to worry about whether or not there's going to be money to pay for a hospitality table. There is. However, if you would like to contribute or give something, you're certainly welcome to do that, and any money that goes in that jar is going to go directly towards getting those foods and drinks and beverages and things too. So just wanted to let you know that. And Calvin, if you could help me by letting the other media team, tech team folks know that table is for them too. It's back there. Are you all enjoying, and this is not on here, I'm slipping it in. Are you enjoying the devotional time on Wednesdays? Is that good? Okay. So great. And we'll continue to do that then too on Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday after our rehearsal. This is the feedback box. This box is mounted to the side of our file cabinet where all our songs are. So at any point, if you have feedback that you want to give, praises are always welcome. Constructive criticisms are always welcome. But this provides a way to give that feedback. I will speak particularly about constructive criticisms because when a constructive criticism is given, especially if it's given in a public format or public forum, it may be intended to be helpful, but the one thing you can't control is how other people interpret the criticism, especially those who the criticism might be aimed toward. It might be interpreted not as someone who wants to be helpful to try and improve, but as an attack, and throwing me under the bus or, that kind of thing. And so that's another reason why we have this feedback file, is so that you can submit it. And you may want to have a criticism of me. I can take it. I'm a big boy, I got thick skin, but you may not want me to know it was you. And that's okay too. I'm cool with that I'm cool with those things. I want to improve. My life motto is I will take all the help I can get. And you can ask Rebecca, that's who I am. I want help. So I welcome constructive criticisms. And so, however, I also realize some people they don't like to confront, and they see that as a confrontation. And so I get that too, I understand that. And maybe you want the time to process your thoughts, and writing things down gives you that time without being interrupted. It allows you to go back and make corrections if you read it and didn't like it that way. So just do it however you want to do it. Maybe you want to get in my face and just yell, that's okay too, I can take it. I can take you if you want to go there too, but I'm just saying, it's because some people want to, anyways, but
It hadn't really crossed my mind.
Uh-huh.
And you kind of brought that up, but
Yeah.
I guess if maybe I had a suggestion for someone else on the team.
Yeah.
But it might not be received real well. I could actually write that in there and you could relay that to them.
Absolutely.
All right. For whatever reason, I didn't think about that.
Yep.
That really helped.
Absolutely.
I was
No. I say stuff like that just to joke around, just to lighten the mood. I don't mean any of that.
Martin, don't, he's bigger than you.
But like I said, hey, I've seen a midget beat a 6'1" man into the ground. So the size has nothing to do with it. So, I mean, this midget, he climbed. I'm using the word midget. I apologize. I don't mean to be offensive, but he referred to himself that way too. But no, he climbed that 6'1" guy like he was a tree. Climbed up and wrapped his legs around his head and started going. It was the funniest thing. All right. I already mentioned live stream, but again, just I would encourage you to go back and watch that live stream, after services if you get a chance, and also Pastor John's message too. We will have a television up in the back soon. I keep saying, actually, we already have one now that we're using, but it's going to be mounted pretty soon so that we can watch the service back there too, so we don't have to be disengaged from any of that. You have a question?
Yeah, so we're watching ourselves on, later, and is there certain,
On live stream, you mean?
on live stream?
Mhm.
Is there certain movements that you, that feels or I would encourage you to all sway together, or, I don't know, is there some tips that you might have?
No, not yet. Other than I would just say, watch it. And if you've got questions about it, watch yourself in relation to others on the team. Kind of be your own judge. I will say, I've watched. Hey, Rebecca. I will say, I've watched every one of them now for the last 6 or 7 weeks. And there's not a single one where I would say I would have a constructive criticism for anyone up front in terms of you shouldn't move that way or that looked really weird or whatever. So, no.
No, it's not myself turning on my microphone. I was like, shouldn't do that.
Okay. You will be your best critic. You'll be much better than I will. So that's fine.
Still remind myself,
Absolutely. Another thing this feedback file is good for is suggestions for new songs, new music. If you have ideas of new songs you think maybe would be good for our team to take a look at or try. From now through the middle of June, the sermon series focus is on the person of the Holy Spirit. And so as I'm choosing songs for our set list, I'm mindful of that. I'm trying to choose songs that are supportive of what our sermon series is about. And so, like the song we did last night, Standing. What great lyrics on that song, man. I'm going to see the supernatural, and just love those songs. And Fire and, those others. So, but I really want suggestions, stuff you've heard out there. Maybe there's a hymn that you remember from growing up that might be, hey, let's because I want to integrate hymns. I almost threw a hymn in there right at the end of service, and we may do it Sunday. I don't know, we'll see. But so I'm way open to that. Or maybe it's a chorus, but it's from 20 years ago or 25 years ago, old Vineyard stuff or whatever. Hey, if it's good then, it should be good now. Let's take a look at it. So, we did My God, Sign Alfred. That thing's 15 years old, I think. That's been around a while. Yeah, I know. Jump right back into that. So new music is that. Last thing I want to mention is recruiting drive. Yes.
The live stream real quick.
Yeah.
But we do try to listen to it, and I don't know if it was just this last one or the last couple. Since we do songs to tracks, I don't know if this is a question as well, but I've tried to listen to my part on the drums. I noticed that when we play with the track really overrides the live drums in the live stream.
Uh-huh.
And so I haven't been able to I need to correct that part when it comes to this part of the song, cleaning this up or anything like that. So I don't know if it was possible to maybe kind of have more equal. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I do know what you're saying. And, the tracks that we use can have every instrument on the track, including bass and drums and keyboard and guitars and all those things, or you can selectively reduce the volume or take it completely out. And so, like for I think the last I think Sunday, I think it was, you know, I can't remember. It was a service recently. I asked, do you want me to leave the drums in? Do you want me to leave the bass in? Or do you want me to take it out? And the response, I can't remember if it was you or Zach, or he said, yeah, leave them in. And so I left them in. And I didn't, so I didn't do much adjusting to the volume. I just left them in the track. But that's really controlled from up there at the keyboard, not back at the soundboard. No, what's in your ears is totally your mix. You have individual control of your own mix in your ears. Well, what do I get? I need something. That's fine. So yeah, you have total control of the mix in your ears, just like I do in my ears. And our monitor mix, thank you. Our monitor mix, I'm gonna chew on it. So, no, for the front wedges, each wedge has its own independent mix, and the mix going to the live stream is its own independent mix. I'm still trying to learn how we get reverb and delay on our live stream mix. Any ideas?
It would just be adding it to that sound.
I thought I had, but it's not coming across. That's where I'm really scratching my head. I thought we were adding that, and it was. I mean, the sliders are up, but it's not coming across. I don't know. I got to do some YouTube tutorials on that stuff or something. But so I was going to mention about recruiting, because like I said, I want all the help we can get. I want our team to grow. I want more musicians, more instrumentalists, more singers, more choir singers, more tech team folks. And so for the month of May, basically what Pastor John has decided in terms of promoting for the different ministries in our church, rather than promote every ministry every month and have 7-10 different ministries all vying for people at the same time and then vying for space in the bulletin, whatever, is to basically highlight one ministry each month. And so for the month of May, the ministry that they're highlighting is the ministry that Martin and Samantha are leading, the nursing home ministry. And so you'll be seeing announcements about that in the bulletin and that sort of thing. And so all of the public recruitment for church ministries for May is going to be for nursing home ministry. For June, it's going to be our ENC Praise Team. And so the month of June is going to be really important for promoting. I'd like to do maybe a promotional video of our team, something fun, something I saw the choir at Billtown Road do about 5-6 years ago, as they took the Kirk Franklin song called Smile, and they all lip synced to Smile, but it showed different choir members wearing their robes or backstage or different things, and just, it was just a really, really fun video. If I can find that, I'll put it on our Praise Team page so you guys can see that. But I don't know, something along those lines there where we can do a little promotional video that's fun and, shows the heart of the people on our team. But we'll want to do some information sign-up tables out in the lobby, every service during the month of June. And so I'll be asking for, each person to help out with that a little bit as we can. But even prior to June, if you'll begin just thinking, who do you know, just individually, we'll kind of do it on the down low, so to speak, but just who can we talk to invite to come and be a part of our team? Welcome them into our choir, welcome them into our sound tech booth, and we need folks to put the lyrics on the screens. We need more people to help run the soundboard. So just be thinking along those lines, and then be asking. Because the worst someone can say is, no, I'm not really interested. But they might say yes. And if they say yes, then get them connected with me, and that's how we'll grow. And then June will be a big push. It'll be all over the bulletins. We'll have flyers. We'll have free food out here to try and draw people over, and we'll balloons and the whole bit. I'm almost done. Back on rehearsal schedule, one thing I forgot to mention is this. Training is coming. Focused training on your voice or on your instrument or on your technical pieces of equipment. Pastor John and I are working together to bring in training that will be available. Mary had forwarded to me a couple weeks ago a vocal coach program that's available, and it's an online type program. So again, it's something you can do at home, it's something you can do from your smartphone, 24-hour a day, 7-day a week access. Now that particular program has a monthly access fee to it for a team. Well, our church is going to cover the cost of that. So you're going to get free training, all of you who are singers, Martin, you too, everyone who sings, you're going to have access to this free vocal coach training. And we're real excited about it. And so that's going to be coming online here in the next couple of weeks. And I'll let you know about it. We'll send you a place where you set up your username and password, just like we did with Planning Center Online. And you'll have access to that. We may also be looking at opportunities to bring in someone for an on-site training event, that sort of thing. Especially with our tech teams, our sound teams. I want to bring all our soundboard guys in, and then bring in a representative from Behringer, to really give us a run through on that X32 board, or to give us a clinic on using digital effects, compression, those types of things that we can do, again, just to try to help improve and take to the next level what we're doing. So I just wanted you to know that. We've got training is on its way. Now, if you are at a point where you're like, you know what, I'm good. I'm happy where I am. I don't think I'll participate in that training. Hey, that's fine too. No problem. No problem at all. We're going to make it available so that it's there for you to use if you want to use, and no one's going to look down their nose at you if you don't. It's totally your choice. But I just wanted you to know it's coming, and it's going to be a benefit of being a part of this team. Because I don't know if you all have ever done music at any other churches or not, but they don't have anything like that. Most of them don't even have the hospitality table like that. So, again, we're trying to step up our game. As I said from the very beginning when I came here, I want your involvement in this team to be a benefit to you. I never want it to feel like it's something that's draining from you, pulling from you, always taking, and you never feel like you get anything from it. That's not what I want this team to be about. So.
Something that we did
Mm-hmm.
the first couple of years Jason was here, staff, we did weekend music conferences.
Mm-hmm.
We did that the first 2 or 3 years that he was here, and it was so beneficial,
Mm-hmm.
for the different areas and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, as many years as I'd say, and everything, I really learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And he brought different people in from different churches, different.
Is that when you were like preparing for a cantata or something like that? Or no? Okay.
It was just,
Overall,
yeah.
it's like having a worship conference kind of thing.
And that's what I was gonna suggest. I've got a lot of friends who are recording artists, even right here in the Louisville area, who would be very happy to come and do clinics for us.
Okay. Great.
It's really beneficial.
Wonderful. We're also looking at online training options, again, because one of the there's tons of benefits to having on-site training, but one of the drawbacks is when you have folks who can't make it. That doesn't work with their schedule, and then you've lost that opportunity to get that training. The online training does give people that 24/7 access and the ability to go back and watch it again and again and again, that type of thing too. So we'll yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Have you ever been a part of something like that?
Oh, yeah. Last thing I want to mention, it's not on the agenda, but it's this. Would you all be interested as a team in doing an overnight retreat somewhere? And it wouldn't necessarily have to be a music retreat. It could just be a fun retreat, but our church owns a retreat property at Barren River Lake, which is down kind of near Bowling Green and Mammoth Cave area in Kentucky. One of my jobs for the church is managing that property, so I kind of have a little extra special access to it. But I wondered if you guys would be interested in doing something like that, going down on a, you know, like a Friday, Saturday type deal or something like that. You definitely can fish. It's a lake house, and it has a pontoon boat we'd have access to, so we can go boating. I'm licensed to drive the boat, so we can go out and you can do tubing. You can do. It's not powerful enough yet to do water skiing, although we're working on getting a bigger motor for it. But anyways, if that's something you think you'd be interested in as a team, then I'll be glad to start looking at the calendar and some dates and throw some dates your way and see if we could settle on something. And it's something you can bring your kids. No, you leave. In fact, I don't want, no. Yeah.
Husbands are invited. They're not optional. They definitely have, and they're full. I kind of have to bring them.
So, all right. Well, I'll start looking at dates, and I'll share with you more about the property, so you know what to expect there. You know what the accommodations are like and things. Maybe we'll do something. It'll be fun.
Sleeps like so many people.
Is it cabins? It's cabins.
It's a house.
Or it's a house.
Yeah, it's a 3-bedroom house with a couple of bunk rooms. Like the sleeping accommodations are individual beds. They're not like queen beds or king beds or things. They're all, you know, twin size beds. But I'll give you more details about that later. Okay. Well, that's what I had to share about tonight. We can do some music if you'd like, although I feel like we're pretty good for Sunday morning. I listened to the live stream from last night, and for the most part, our vocal parts were pretty good. A couple missed things, but that's to be expected, and we can tighten those up on Sunday morning.